Please take your seats. Thank you for being here for this evening's meeting. We're going to have the invocation by Reverend Michelle Fuqua, I hope I said that right, of Living Water Church International Incorporated, be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. If you would, please stand with me. Is she not here? Okay, she does not seem to be here, so if you would just observe a moment of silence with me then. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening and welcome to the May 3rd, 2016 regular business meeting. The first order of business is the adoption of the agenda. Does any member want to offer any amendments?
I do. I'd like to ask the board to add resolution that you have in front of you. I'd like to add that to the agenda. I think you all read the email that I sent to you, and I just think it's important, as I mentioned in the email, for a board that has spent so much money since we've been in to ensure that other people were above board and to make sure that everything's transparent. I think it's important to look into this issue.
What's the emergency? What's the emergency to add this today? Instead of just putting it on the agenda for next meeting?
Well, it just needs to be looked at, just like any other issue before that's been brought.
And I don't think you're getting an argument on that. I think we're trying to ask the question whether or not it's emergency, if it fits to add it on this one, or if it can wait till the next meeting.
I think it's an emergency that should be added to the agenda now, but
Is that your motion?
yes, it is. Sir.
Okay. Probably moving second. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Nay. It's 2-2. It's split vote. So just bring it back next week if you so choose to.
Just put it on the agenda for next meeting.
Are there any
Put it on the
further
agenda.
requests for amendments?
If you choose to. All right, since
Are there any?
no other motion to adopt the agenda.
Chairman, Clayton Center has asked that the resolution that they had originally requested be removed at the next meeting.
That was a request made by their attorneys, correct?
Yes.
About the land lease.
Yes, sir. They want to look at the agreement a little further, I think.
Okay,
Which number was that?
So, I thought it was the second. 84? I'm sorry, 83. There, I'm sorry, 83.
okay, I'll place that
15.
in the form of a motion to remove 2016-83 at the request of the attorneys for the Community Service Board. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Properly moved in second. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
Are there any further amendments? Hearing none, may we have a motion to adopt the agenda with the approved amendment?
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move we adopt the agenda with the approved amendment.
Is there a second? I'll second it. Properly moved in second. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
Approval of the April 19, 2016 regular business meeting minutes.
Is there a motion? I'll make the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Properly moved in second. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
The board will now hear public comment. Mr. Chairman, we do have citizens that have signed up to speak before the board. Citizens will be given 3 minutes maximum time limit to speak before the Board of Commissioners. Please state your name and county of residency for the record. Speak clearly into the microphone, and speakers should be courteous, respectful, and not make any disparaging remarks or use abusive language when addressing the board.
Dr. Henry Anderson.
Good evening, everyone. I am adding additional categories to my Clayton County Board of Commissioners, as well as the Clayton County Government Departmental Agency Citizens Performance Evaluation Numerical Rating Scale and Grading System, and they are the individual operations operating level designations, which informs you in the respective Clayton County governmental department the level that you're presently operating at in addressing and solving the specific problems, issues, and concerns that I bring before all the 5 of you to solve. Consider this a pre-evaluation before your main evaluation. This will tell you whether you or the department are operating at a level that is exceeding my expectations, meeting my expectations, operating at a level of just average, just okay, just enough to get by, operating at a level of below my expectations, operating at a level of failure, and no one doing anything to get to address and solve the problem. 5 category components will factor into my pre-evaluations and my main evaluations, and they are work initiative, work effort, work actions, results, and success. Just as all of Clayton County governmental employees, their supervisors, managers, directors, chief, and even the chief operations officer have personnel file in the Human Resources Department, all 5 of you have your own Citizens Commission personnel file, folder, and dossier that I have created, formulated, maintained, and keep that contains my expectations and performance appraisal evaluations on you. And also know that all 5 of you, our Clayton County Board of Commissioners, are now on the clock and are on notice. Let me be crystal clear. All 5 of you do not answer to me. You don't report directly to me. I'm not your supervisor or your superior. I'm just a citizen of Clayton County who demands the very best from my elected officials and want all of you to serve in our best interest. But I do have the power, authority, might, and ability to hold all 5 of you accountable, answerable, and responsible. And I'm right now doing this with my evaluations, and know that my evaluations carry weight. My evaluations bring the heat. And my evaluations do have a very powerful reach throughout all of Clayton County. In closing, the heat is on all 5 of you, the Clayton County Board of Commissioners, to double down, make the necessary course corrections, put more effort and work in passing stronger ordinance to get Clayton County cleaned up, and putting the heat on everyone under your power, authority, and command to get the job done as you make Clayton County the great county that it used to be. Because as of right now, at this present time, Clayton County in certain areas, most notably Terra Boulevard, does not look good at all. And overall, Clayton County is not leaving a favorable, positive, a lasting good impression on all who presently live in the county, work in the county, who travel all throughout the county. And that must change for the better right here and right now. And as we as the citizens who elected all 5 of you to your positions of great power, authority, and command and charge you to do this, everybody had better be up to the task at hand and get the job done, and get the job done right, because at the end of when you pass the budget, your 2016-2017 budget, evaluations will start immediately.
Thank you, Doc. Jeff McLeod.
Good evening. I'm Jeff McLeod. This is Tesfaye Ogbu. He's owner of a property at 5209 West Fayetteville Road. It's a Texaco station. We're here to ask for your help in a situation involving the Clayton County DOT. They contracted with Mr. Ogbu on purchasing some of his property for a road widening project. They hired a Donald Wagner with Right Away Partners to handle put the package together, and he hired an attorney, Carla Gaines, to handle the closing. Mr. Ogbu had to remove tanks, move a canopy, take out a tenant space, do a lot of work, and then those funds would be released to him. The county put the whole package together, approached him to do this, and now that the work has been done, they have approved it, and they asked Ms. Gaines, the closing attorney, to release the $337,000 that he spent to him, and he has not received that money to date. And Christy Barnes, I believe the former county attorney, has gotten involved, and now Jack Hancock, who is taken over her position as the county attorney, has made an effort to contact Ms. Gaines. She admitted that she did not have the money. She's made a mistake, and he is out all of the money spent. So we're asking for your help in the county in helping us get that resolved, because now the county has taken the position, according to Jack Hancock, that they tendered the money to the closing attorney as agreed, so they are out of it, and it's on him to recover the money. He has no contract with Ms. Gaines or Right Away Partners. It was all set up by the county, and now they're washing their hands of it, saying it's not our problem. And so he's out the $337,000 that was promised to him in the contract with the county.
Okay, we're not really familiar with full details of that, but
Right.
this is Mr. Hancock right here, sitting
Okay.
to your left, my right. And we will have further discussion on it, so.
We just wanted to
anything-
bring it to your
anything
attention again,
further,
ask for your
please,
help.
Yeah, go
Okay.
through Mr. Hancock.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Gwendolyn Gooden, I'm sorry, I should know.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Gwendolyn Gooden. I'm here this evening to recommend Mr. Cole Horn for the position of Clayton County Director of Parks and Recreation. Mr. Horn has the outstanding working knowledge of the position, but most of all, she has great customer service and interpersonal skills. I do not think you can find a more qualified candidate than Ms. Nicole Horn. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Orlando Gooden.
Mr. Gooden.
I don't know why I'm having problems with it, I'm sorry.
Actually, I was going to read all this, but in an effort to save time, and I think I've sent the letter to everyone here regarding what I'm going to discuss. My name is Orlando Gooden. I live in Clayton County, Jonesboro. I'm here to express my support for Nicole Horn for Clayton County Director of Parks and Recreation. I have on many occasions had the opportunity to interact with Ms. Horn, and she was always professional and courteous. Nicole Horn has two qualities that stand out the most: great communication skills and an excellent understanding of customer service. It is my opinion that Nicole Horn is the most knowledgeable and qualified person for the position and would be a great asset to Clayton County Parks and Recreation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Tommy Pye.
Good evening. I'm Tommy Pye, a resident of Clayton County. I would like to say thanks to my commissioner, Shauna Rooks, Chairman Turner, and those commissioners who have consistently voted to improve the quality of life here in Clayton County. I'd like to say thanks for the Parks and Recreations. I'd like to say thanks for what you've done to increase the budget for our police department, for our fire department, for the new initiatives with our EMT. Thank you for MARTA. But many of our subdivisions are now beginning to know each other. We're working, we are learning to know each other. We are working through social media, neighborhood watches, and other activities. And many of the subdivisions are beginning to, will be very, very active in the future. Please, please, do not let partisan activity disrupt the gains that you've done so far today. Don't do it. We, the citizens, say thanks for all that you've done, but we also say we are also closely watching what you're going to do in the future.
Thank you, sir. Chaplain Crystal Pritchett.
Good evening. I'm Chaplain Crystal Pritchett, and I am a part of Georgia Association of Law Enforcement Chaplains. Commissioner Rooks invited me to address a concern and to even hopefully implement some discussion concerning public safety wellness. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I am a law enforcement chaplain who has worked in the county for over 5 years. Each of the chiefs are aware, and all of the public safety command is aware of who I am personally and professionally. And I know for a fact that their mental health is very important. Targeting and understanding trauma and how our public safety employees are traumatized, sometimes even once or multiple times a night, is very, very important. And now that we know how trauma affects the brain and depression, and especially post-traumatic stress disorder, it is very important that our public safety employees are mentally well. We have a lot of things going on. I have some officers and some public safety servants that I work with personally and professionally, confidentially. And I know that the role of the chaplain has been looked at as just being that they're there and available. But we know from research and from data that public safety, particularly law enforcement, they do not seek any mental health help. And they have issues with their families, and we want everyone well as they're out on the streets. And so I'd like to educate you more and talk to you more about how we can help our public safety servants and how we can create some outside efforts to address them confidentially outside of the department, but being very assertive in what we do when we reach out to them. This particular county has suffered 2 major losses with death, with one incident concerning recently, within the last 60 days or so, where we lost Major Barney in the line of duty. A year before, we lost Darrell Wallace. And I was working in particularly with some of the officers from Sector 3, and they are still traumatized and impacted. And that needs to be vocalized, and it needs to be addressed, and I believe that I have some solutions that can help bring some resources and some additional services to the department. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, did you give your county of residency?
Clayton?
Clay, thank you.
Ms. Mary Williamson.
Good evening. My name is Mary Williamson, and I'm a citizen of Clayton County. I have a problem with the community center, the Jim Huey Community Center, and I do believe a letter has been sent to you, Mr. Turner, about the center up there. I do believe it's black mold that's in the locker rooms, and it needs cleaning. And we have been trying to get someone, get to you guys to get you to come up there and see what's going on. Because this is a hazard to not only our health, but the children's that are coming up there in the summer, you know, taking swim classes in the camps. And all we ask is for you and your co-workers to come up there and see what we are talking about, so something can be done about it. And also, my exercise coach, which is Sonia Jefferson, I think next week is her really officially last day of being an employee of the counties, and we are being told that we will not have a exercise coach until further notice. And they said they telling us that it's not important, and they closing up one of the pools and we cannot get in it, and I don't think that is fair. And there are too many of us that goes up there in the morning to use those pools, and they're closing them where we cannot use them. And we are asking, matter of fact, we are pleading that you do something about this, because as a taxpayer. And a lot of us, we have health problems, you know, joints and stuff like that, and our doctors are recommending that we go up there and get in those pools and exercise, and they closing them, and we can't get in them.
And it may be a lifeguard issue, maybe. But what I want you to do is talk with the interim director, Troy Hodges. I think he's here, gentleman in the back, and he'll tell you about some of the other things that we're doing to look at the mold issue and so forth. Matter of fact, the Goodens are always talking to us about that. So we are working. They definitely bring it to our attention. We appreciate you for bringing it to our attention as well. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I can say, Mr. Gooden knows, we have gone down there, I think it was a year ago.
Several times.
To look at the issues there, and Mr. Hodges and Mr. Stanford, who was the prior Parks and Recs director, was intimately involved.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was there at one time that I saw you guys.
okay,
came through
okay.
there.
So we have been working on it, but talk to him, but and
He
let
can
me
fill
know.
you in. He can fill you
Okay,
in.
thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Madam Clerk, that concludes public comment.
This concludes public comment. We will now have 2 proclamations. The first proclamation, whereby Clayton County observes May 2016 as Older Americans Month, as presented by Chairman Turner, with the Ms. Tori Straughter Tanks, as well as everyone that's present with her. to receive this proclamation. If you would, please come forward as the commissioners join you for the proclamation presentation.
And the proclamation reads, Clayton County observes May 2016 as Older Americans Month. Whereas, Clayton County includes a community of older Americans who deserve recognition for their contributions to our nation. And whereas, Clayton County Senior Services recognizes that older adults are trailblazers, advocating for themselves, their peers, and their communities, paving the way for future generations. And whereas, Clayton County Senior Services is committed to raising awareness about issues facing older Americans and helping all individuals to thrive in communities of their choice for as long as possible. And whereas, we appreciate the value of inclusion and support in helping older adults successfully contribute to and benefit from their communities. And whereas, our community can provide opportunities to enrich the lives of individuals of all ages by promoting and engaging in activity, wellness, and social inclusion, emphasizing home and community-based services that support independent living, and ensuring community members of all ages benefit from the contributions and experience of older adults. And whereas, each year Clayton County Senior Services sponsors an annual Mayfest event, which is the largest celebration in Metro Atlanta with over 1,200 seniors in attendance and honors Older Americans Month. This year's theme is a Blaze a Trail and encourages seniors to blaze a trail to civic engagement, reinvention, securing their finances, and blaze a trail to wellness. The purpose of Mayfest is to honor Clayton County's senior population and recognize how much they are loved, celebrated, and appreciated. Now, therefore, I, Jeffrey E. Turner, Chairman, on behalf of the Clayton County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim May 2016 as Older Americans Month in Clayton County, Georgia, and encourage all citizens to take time this month to celebrate older adults and the people who serve and support them as powerful and vital individuals who greatly contribute to the community. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of Clayton County, Georgia, to be affixed this 3rd day of May in the year 2016. Jeffrey E. Turner, Chairman.
And the final proclamation for this evening, Clayton County observes May 2016 as National Preservation Month, as presented by Chairman Turner. Will the recipients please come forward at this time?
And the proclamation reads, Clayton County observes May 2016 as National Preservation Month. Whereas, local historic preservation is an effective tool for revitalizing neighborhood, fostering local pride, and maintaining community character while enhancing livability. And whereas, historic preservation is relevant for communities across the nation, both urban and rural, and for Americans of all ages, all walks of life, and all ethnic backgrounds. And whereas, it is important to celebrate the role of history in our lives and the contributions made by dedicated individuals in helping to preserve the tangible aspects of the heritage that has shaped us as people. And whereas, Historical Jonesboro, Clayton County, Inc., and the City of Jonesboro are co-sponsoring a celebration of national preservation on May 7th, 14th, and 21st to provide an opportunity for citizens to recognize the important role that historic preservation plays in individual lives and communities. And whereas, This Place Matters is the 2016 theme for Clayton County Historic Preservation Month. And whereas, the Clayton County community continues to demonstrate its commitment to preservation as it grows and develops through ongoing historic surveys, the nomination of significant cultural resources to the Georgia and National Register of Historic Places, the protection of its traditional neighborhoods, the integration of historic elements with redevelopment, and the recognition, rehabilitation, and restoration of historic properties. Now, therefore, I, Jeffrey E. Turner, Chairman, on behalf of the Clayton County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim May 2016 as National Preservation Month in Clayton County, Georgia, and encourage all citizens to recognize and participate in this special observance and celebration. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of Clayton County, Georgia, to be affixed this 3rd day of May in the year 2016. Jeffrey E. Turner, Chairman.
The board will now hear a presentation by Commissioner Shana Ruggs for the 2016 District 3 GEO Scholarship Awardee. We will first have Donovan Frazier, Mundy's Mill High School. Family, friends, please come forward.
We'll take a picture first and I'll tell you guys about that.
All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Smile. How big is it? It's good. Thank you.
Each year, the GEO group allows commissioners to award scholarships. And once I read this information about this young man, you'll know why he was selected. Donovan Frazier is a senior at Mundy's Mill High School. He wrote an essay. In the movie Rocky, the main character, Rocky Balboa, makes a quote that has stuck with me and pretty much has been my mantra since I've heard it. He stated, life's not how hard of a hit you can give, it's about how let me restate that. I'm getting sick. He stated, life's not about how hard of a hit you can give, it's about how many you can take and still keep on moving. And Donovan shared with me in his essay that in March of 2004 that he lost his father to cancer. And then in 2008, he lost his mom to a heart attack. Donovan's been accepted to Morehouse College. Donovan is a member of the band in the ROTC and has a 3.3 average. And his aunt has been taking care of him. And Donovan will be receiving a scholarship for $3,050. So that's Donovan, thank you. We had a ceremony earlier today. We gave Donovan a big check, and cake, and punch, fellowship for a while. I told Donovan I went to Spelman College, and his sister said, well, I'm gonna go to Spelman too. I said, that's great. So the next awardee is Joshua Robinson.
Very good. On three. 1, 2, and 3. Again, 1, 2, and thank you.
Joshua provided to me about 4 pages of all of his activities, but I'm gonna read them all. So bear with me. 3 years of Beta Club with the final year serving as historian. 3 years of Air Force Junior ROTC with the final rank of Staff Sergeant. 2 years of Kitty Hawk Air Society. 2 years of the varsity cross country team. 4 years on the varsity swim team. Recipient of the Air Force Junior ROTC National Sojourners Award in 2014. Recipient of the French Third Student of the Year in 2015. Recognized as a University of Georgia Merit Scholar in 2015. Recipient of the French Force Student of the Year in 2016. Lovejoy High School undergraduate. Made Georgia Perimeter College's Dean's List with a 4.0 in 12 semester hours for the fall semester of 2015. He is a Gates Millennial Scholar. He's attending Georgia State University in the fall. He's graduating 10th in his class from Lovejoy High School out of 250. 250, he's number 10. That's getting applause to that. He was awarded Eagle Scout in 2016. He's played the alto saxophone since 2007, the tenor saxophone since 2012, the clarinet since 2014. He's played in all county and district honor bands from 2011 to 2013. He has a GPA of 3.9, unweighted, weighted 4.2, ACT 23, SAT 1850. And I have to say this. Joshua says what he desires in life is to continue to evolve. And we have some bright and talented students. Joshua will also be receiving a scholarship for $3,050. Joshua Robinson.
The board will now hear a presentation by Malika Wilkins, Director of Marketing and Communications for the State Road and Tollway Authority on the Peach Pass and I-75 Express lanes.
How do you come behind that? That was awesome. Thank you so much, Chairman, Commissioners, for having us. My name is Malika Reed Wilkins. I'm with the State Road and Tollway Authority and the Georgia Regional Transportation Authority, and my counterpart, Jill Goldberg, is with the Georgia Department of Transportation. I believe Jill was here maybe less than a year ago, providing an update on the construction out on 75 South going toward Henry County. So we just want to give you a brief update today and to share some information on outreach and what we plan in the next few months.
So it's good to be here again today. It was about a year ago when we came out and we updated you on the project, what was going on with it, and all I want to do today is give you a real brief update and spend most of the time on Malika's information about Peach Pass and how people can get that and what's going to happen with the lanes. So basically, we are actually complete with the Flippin Road Bridge and the I-675 flyover. Those have reached 100% as far as construction, and what's being done on those are just final touches. The Mount Carmel Road Bridge is moving on schedule, and we will open that in June. So it's completely on schedule. All the sound walls are done now. We're about 50% done with the roadway and about 50% done with the technology that's going to go with this in order to do the tolling. Got a couple pictures. This is from Mount Carmel Bridge, which is the bridge that we did have to close and detour and totally rebuild that to accommodate this project as well as planned future projects on the 75 corridor. This is the dedicated access point on Jonesboro Road. That is coming along quite well. I'm not sure if you've been down Jonesboro Road recently, right across from the gas station. There's no mistaking that this interchange is coming in at that location. This is a couple of aerial views of the 675 interchange and also in the median work that's just going on down there. And you can see that the bridge is coming. This picture, I think, of the flyover is about 2 months old, so that connection's been made now, and it is totally progressed. And this is another view of the median, just some of the construction, and we know you see that all the time if you drive the corridor, but it really is progressing, and we're set to open early 2017. And now Malika.
And so in terms of accessing the I-75 South Metro Express lanes, so I just want to sort of tell you some differences between the current toll lanes on I-85 and Gwinnett County. This is way different. So I just want to point out those differences. The first thing, of course, there are no toll booths. So if you have a Peach Pass in your vehicle, you can get in those lanes and use that, and the toll is deducted electronically. They are reversible in the median and barrier separated, unlike on I-85 and Gwinnett. There's sort of the double dashed white lines where you can get in and out of the lanes. And it is new capacity. So you'll have added lanes in addition to the general purpose lane. So you can choose to use these lanes or you can choose to stay in the general purpose lane. So there will be a choice there. And then, of course, everyone who chooses to use the lanes will pay a toll unless you are registered on state registered transit like the express bus or registered van pools, et cetera. There will be no extra toll for you. And if you register at peachpass.com for your Peach Pass, it's like a little sticker, looks just like that box there. You can have access to the upcoming toll lanes that are coming in Northwest Corridor in Cobb County. They're going to extend 85 in a couple of years as well in any future lanes. The lanes are dynamically priced, exactly how they're priced on 85, where the toll rate will go up and down based on demand. So the more vehicles in the lane, the higher the price, because it's trying to keep that free flow of at least 45 miles per hour, and that people are actually seeing an advantage of the lanes and going faster than those in the general purpose lanes. But again, it's a choice, and motorists can choose not to use them. How to get a Peach Pass, there's several ways. The number one way, of course, is peachpass.com. You can go there, but we have a walk-up center. We also will be partnering with the Department of Driver Services in Locust Grove. So we'll have a Peach Pass center there if people want to sign up there, and you can also call as well. We have several outreach events coming to Clayton and Henry County. This is just a snippet of the events, but you'll see the Peach Pass 10 and van out at community events, et cetera, where people can sign up and learn more about the lanes and how to sign up. And one of our biggest pieces of news here is that you can use your Peach Pass in Florida and in North Carolina. So many of you who have traveled to Florida and have gone and stopped at all those toll booths, if you have a Peach Pass in your car, you do not have to stop. You can continue to go in those SunPass lanes with your Peach Pass, and the toll is deducted. And I've been told it's taken about an hour and a half off of your trip, especially like going to Disney or Miami or what have you. So even if you don't use it here, you can use it in Florida and North Carolina, and we are onboarding additional states. Also, there's a way you can get a Peach Pass at any CVS in Georgia if you just want to try it out. It's where the gift mall is, where you buy a Macy's gift card or any sort of Amazon gift card. It's in the same area at any CVS in Georgia. So you would just put $20 down on it. You can use it, put the Peach Pass in your car and go. And then lastly, here's our campaign. And you may have seen some of the billboards out there already going toward Henry County. I think I have a slide here where it says, you know, get to your flight on time, get to work on time, et cetera. You may have seen them in the corridor, and we'll have a slew of paid media all throughout the summer and throughout the fall. And that's it. Thank you so much for your time.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, where does it start and where does it end?
You want to capture?
It starts at State Route 155 and goes to State Route 138. Those are the basic parameters on it. It's about 12 miles.
75 south.
Yes, and north. I mean, it's going to go both directions. It's reversible.
Mm-hmm.
So in the peak period, like in the mornings when people are trying to get to maybe their job in Atlanta, it would be headed northbound or inbound. And in the evenings when they're trying to get home down here to visit with their family, do other events, walk the dog, it will be outbound.
Okay,
at
so if
that
I'm headed
point.
south, starts at 138 to 155.
Yes.
And there is also a small piece on 675 that you can enter.
Yes, you can make the direct
It's in Clayton
connection
County.
from 675.
Okay, thank you.
When do you guys anticipate it being ready?
Yeah, late January, February 2017. It's less than a year,
Okay.
and it will be open. It's moving along quite well. The technology is the last parts of it that have to get done, and so we have to complete all the construction by a certain time frame, which we're on schedule to do. But then there's a lot of testing with that technology, because like we said, there's no toll booths or anything, so it's going to read your transponders, and all the different zones in it are going to read separately. And so there's a lot of testing that we do with that. We test each part of it, then we've got to test it together as a system and do all that. And hopefully not, because we're working hard on it, but if there's any kinks in any parts of those, each one has to be fixed before you can move to the next thing. So that's the part that's a little unknown, but our goal is, you know, early 2017, January, February.
All right, any other questions? Thank you,
Thank you
ladies,
very
for your
much.
presentation.
The board will now hear a presentation by the chairman of the Clayton County Tourism Authority, Linda Chrissy, on the National Tourism Month.
Well, obviously, great things are happening in Clayton County, right?
Absolutely.
They always are. Commissioners, in addition to all the wonderful other months and weeks that we are celebrating, this is also National Tourism Week. I made a mistake when I requested, so it's not a whole month. It's just this week, the focus on it. And tourism is big business in Clayton County. And the economic impact is huge, as you already know, but which you will see on the flyer that you're going to be given in just a few minutes. The Convention and Visitors Bureau is celebrating, and we want to share with you some good news and information quickly for you. First of all, nothing functions without a great staff that makes things happen. So I'd like to introduce you to Ms. Brenda Turner, Beth Bailey, Danielle Conroy, Tangi Carter, and Julie Bustamante. They have a gift for you, and these ladies are responsible for keeping Clayton County on the tourism map and do an excellent job. Our token of appreciation is a beautiful portfolio. We hope you will enjoy it and use it. You also have a pen there, right here, and if you're so inclined, in addition to your Clayton County pen, maybe you will wear this week to bring about awareness. That because a lot of people don't realize of the tourism impact that what our destination products do here in Clayton County. The Welcome Center and Road to Terra Museum has welcomed over 11,000 domestic visitors and 5,500 international visitors in the past 12 months. The top 5 countries are Germany, Sweden, Canada, England, and Denmark. Our tour and museum guides are printed in 12 languages, which include Russian, Japanese, Portuguese, and Swedish. There's been a total of 66 large tour buses that have rolled into downtown Jonesboro in the past year, resulting in over 1,900 additional guests. And I don't know if you've ever spotted those. They come during the day, but they are huge. The parking lot has to be blocked off by the depot, and they are coming here specifically because we have reached out and marketed not only nationally but internationally to bring the people here to visit our Road to Terra Museum, the Arts Clayton Gallery, our Parks and Recreation facilities, any festivals or anything that going on. All that is tied together in our overall marketing annually. The Department of Economic Development Tourism Division has recognized Clayton County CVB as a leader in many areas and often turns to us for assistance. One area of recognition is partnering. That's on everybody's mind, is how we can maximize what we have and what we're doing for the better good. So with that comment, I'm going to quickly change my hat from Chairman of the Tourism Authority to Executive Director of Arts Clayton. As you know, Arts Clayton was selected as one of 11 communities to be selected to host the 2016-17 Smithsonian's traveling exhibit, Hometown Teams, How Sports Shape America. And the only metro county. It is coming in July and August, and you will hear more about that. One of the main reasons for the Georgia Humanities and that committee choosing us was because of the partnership with the CVB and the Tourism Authority and Clayton County. You have before you a copy of a magazine that was put together by the Georgia Humanities and the Smithsonian Institute. Clayton County is highlighted on 4 pages, and they have been marked with gem clips so that you can flip to them and easily find. I know that the last thing any of you want is something else to read or look at. So we have tried to make it easy for you. But those have been marked. There's also attached additional information, all of which has begun to be circulated in the state throughout the welcome centers. And all of this is designed to put Clayton County and Jonesboro on the map through the end of August. And we're hoping that that certainly equates to more heads on pillows during that time. At the same time, we'll be celebrating the 1996 Olympics. So thank you for you all for the photograph that you got today, because that is part of our marketing strategy and will be used as we also honor and celebrate that time in Clayton County when beach volleyball was added to the Summer Olympics for the very first time, and it was played in our park, our Clayton County International Park. Love it. It was a great time that time. It really, really was. Last, you also have a quick flyer. Our summer camp is underway. You'll be hearing more about that. They are available. And also, we have some Georgia olive oil for you to take home. We love being part of being authorized and sanctioned by the Georgia Department of Agriculture to sell Georgia non-perishable items in the gallery. And this is one of our favorites. And yes, it is made right here in the state in Lakeland, Georgia. Thank you again for making it possible for all of us to daily make good things happen in Clayton County But above all, the goal is to always make you all and our county proud of everything we do and the efforts we make every day. Thank you.
Any questions for Ms. Chrissy?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
The board will now consider the request of Deborah Brewer, Director of Central Services.
And as she's preparing to come, I would be remiss if I did not piggyback on what Ms. Chrissy said to make mention that this past weekend in Savannah at the Association of County Commissioners of Georgia's summer conference, Clayton County and the Clayton County Fire and the EMS services was given an award for innovation for our integrated healthcare system. Yeah, well, I'm getting to it. That's right. Hold it just a second. We were given this award for our community treatment units that the chief and his staff brought to this county. One of the things that the director told me at that time was that all eyes in Georgia are on Clayton County. This initiative will serve as a model throughout this state and throughout the nation. So I commend the chief and his staff for all the good work they do.
Will you take number 1 separate, please?
Yes. What, you come back to it or just do it first?
Go ahead and take it first, and then we'll lump the others.
Yeah, and good evening. We have 3 items. The first is a recommendation for the purchase of a geodiverse Vesta 911 telephone system utilizing the Houston-Galveston Area Council, HGAC Bi-Cooperative, contract number EC07-14. The recommendation is to utilize the cooperative to purchase a geodiverse 911 telephone system from Carousel Industries located in Exeter, Rhode Island, in the amount of $469,749. Funding is available through the general funds and 2009 Splash Fund, the PSDN project. The department recommendation memo, vendor quote, and the HGAC bi-cooperative contract is attached for your review and information. We do have additional documents that we received after upload, and I have those available for you, which is the actual contract between the cooperative and the council. The request is for you to approve the recommendation, authorize the chairman or his designee to execute all necessary documents to accomplish the intent of the contract, and authorize the chief financial officer to amend the budget accordingly.
Okay, is there a motion? I'll make the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Probably moved in second. Are there any questions?
Well, I don't have a question, but I would like for us to bid that out. Instead of just giving it to one company, I would like for us to bid that.
What process did we undertake? And is this actually going to save us any money?
We did receive a memo from the department, and they can come in on the savings. The council that we use, the contract is bid out by a government authority in Texas, and it's a cooperative that go through a competitive process. I just wanted to explain that it has been bid out, the prices are competitive, and it is governmental sponsored cooperative. But as far as the savings, I would
like for the county to bid it out, because we use quite a few companies from the state, but that doesn't necessarily mean that those companies are the better companies.
I understand.
Mr. LaValle.
Thank you, Board. The reason we took this up so quickly is the system that we have in place is going to expire on December 31st of this year. Motorola, nor the company that does the service from Motorola, will give the county a contract beyond the 31st of this December 31st of this year. But we still have to pay Motorola $86,000 between July and December. So what we're trying to do, utilizing the contract, is to save that money and actually use it toward the purchase. We both contacted Motorola and Carousel. They both offer the same exact system. They presented their proposals to Department of Information Technology, and we went with Carousel because the systems were identical, but it was $167,000 cheaper. And that was the pure reason why we went with Carousel. But the systems are
How much cheaper?
$167,000 cheaper.
That was out of bid, right?
I'm
Was
sorry,
that,
ma'am?
was that a bid that you all bid it out?
It was not a bid. It was that Motorola priced it on state contract, and Carousel Industries priced it on the HGIC buy contract. So it was not RFP, but what we're trying to do is save that money. Rather than pay $86,000 for a system that will no longer work at the end of the year, utilize that money to buy the new system that we're going to have to buy regardless.
Any other questions?
I do. So what happens with the bidding process? If you, the county's bidding process, what happens if we utilize the county's bidding process, not what you've done in the past?
We would put the same specifications out for the system, and it would be competitively bid, and anyone who had a system that would meet our requirements would have to bid on that project
Right.
also.
How long, if you were to do it tomorrow, how long before we have it before us to consider?
We would leave it out a minimum of 30 days for advertising, and then we would come back in and do an analysis and bring it back in approximately additional 10 days, or whenever the next board meeting.
So we're talking 2 months?
Yes.
Is there any threat to us waiting 2 months?
There's no threat in waiting 2 months.
There's no
The
benefit.
the implementation it takes a good bit of time in planning because it is a 911 system. And again, the only reason, our reasoning was to save the money that is really going to be wasted, in our opinion, at the end of the year, because the system is going to get replaced. It has to be replaced.
Right, so if it is competitively bid and it's before us within 60 days, we are in July, right? So we still have time before the end of the year. And the implementation of it, how much time would we need between July and when it expires?
It's going to take about 2 months for proper planning and implementation, just to do that in a 911 center, so it's not disruptive. And we can't take down the current system, so we have to stand up both systems at the same time and do a switch over. So that takes a lot of planning, and we're going to get past that July point
Right.
between the RFP,
Right.
and then we'll have paid the $86,000 that we'll have to come up with additional revenue or additional funds to pay for the system at that point.
Any other questions? All right, those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oppose?
Nay.
All right, split vote. We'll bring it back next week, next meeting. Take the rest, the three together, last three.
The next is a recommendation for award for RFP 1610, Food Concession Operations at Clayton County International Park, the Nassau Building, annual contracts for the Park and Recreation Department. The recommendation for award is to the most responsive and responsible proponent meeting the specifications with the highest score, which was AKA CBB's located in Douglasville, Georgia. CBB's LLC located in Douglasville, Georgia. This is a revenue generating account. The county will receive 20% of the gross receipts received in the operation of the food concession stand. There will be no cost to the county. The evaluation tabulation summary, department recommendation, and agreement are attached to the memo for your review and information. The next is a recommendation for renewal of an annual contract, RFB 1431, athletic uniforms and equipment for Clayton County Parks and Recreation Department. Annual contract renewal with Four Seasons Sporting Goods Incorporated located in College Park, Georgia, with a renewal period from June 1st, 2016 through May 31st, 2017. There are no remaining renewals on this contract. It was approved by the Board of Commissioners on May 20th, 2014. The department and vendor renewal acceptances and amendment to the agreement are attached for your review and information. The request is for you to approve the recommendations, authorize the chairman or his designee to execute all necessary documents to accomplish the intent of the contracts, and authorize the chief financial officer to amend the budget accordingly.
All right, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept those recommendations.
Is there a second? I'll second it. Properly moved and second. Are there any questions on any of the items? Hearing none, those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
Thank you.
The board will consider request of Ramona Bivens, Chief Financial Officer.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. I have two items for your consideration this evening. Budget Amendment 2-36 is for the fire department to increase the budget in the amount of $500 to provide additional funds for travel to the Association of County Commissioners of Georgia luncheon. Budget Amendment 2-37 is for the Federal Narcotics Condemnation Fund. It's to amend in funds to purchase 4 vehicles for the Sheriff's Office in the amount of $58,100.
Is there a motion? I'll make the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Properly moved and second. Any questions? Hearing none. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
Thank you.
The board will now hear the request of Attorney Jack Hancock, Interim Chief Staff Attorney.
Please take them together unless a board member would like one separate. Hearing none, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, Resolution 2016-81 is a resolution authorizing Clayton County to enter into a partnership agreement with Clayton County Public Schools, providing for the terms and conditions under which the Clayton County Library System will administer a summer food program, to authorize the chairman to execute the agreement and otherwise perform all other acts necessary to accomplish the intent of the resolution, to provide an effective date of the resolution, and for other purposes. Resolution 2016-82 is a resolution authorizing Clayton County to enter into a partnership agreement with Clayton County Public Schools, providing for the terms and conditions under which the Clayton County Parks and Recreation Department's summer food program will administer, wrong one. No, I didn't. Sorry. The Parks and Recreation Department will administer, to authorize the chairman to execute the agreement and otherwise to perform all other acts necessary to accomplish the intent of the resolution, to provide an effective date of the resolution, and for other purposes. Resolution 2016-84 is a resolution authorizing Clayton County to enter into an amendment to the service agreement with Fire Recovery USA LLC to specify the terms and conditions under which Fire Recovery USA LLC will review bills for medical services rendered to Clayton County inmates, to determine the proper payment amounts for said services, and to authorize the chairman to execute the amended agreement and otherwise to perform all acts necessary to accomplish the intent of this resolution, to authorize the chief financial officer to amend the budget where necessary to reflect an appropriate revenue source and expense, all as may be required, to provide an effective date of this resolution, and for other purposes. Resolution 2016-85 is a resolution authorizing Clayton County to enter into a purchase and sale agreement with the estate of Eugene R. Bonds, Jr. to purchase real property, to authorize the chairman to execute the agreement and otherwise perform all acts necessary to accomplish the intent of the resolution, to authorize the chief financial officer to amend the budget where necessary to reflect appropriate revenue sources and expenses, all as may be required under the terms of the agreement, to provide an effective date of this resolution, and for other purposes. If I might point out to you with regard to that, the document you'll be asked to approve differs from the one that was presented to you in this manner. The prior agreement, or the agreement that was presented to you, provided for a purchase price of $350,000 per acre. That was not correct. The purchase price is $350,000. And the contract that is made a part of the resolution so reflects that. And Resolution 2016-86 is a resolution authorizing Clayton County to enter into a purchase and sale agreement with Ellen Jones Stewart, Ross Zimbabwe Jones, Arthur Lee Jones, and Donald Jones to purchase real property, to authorize the chairman to execute the agreement and otherwise perform all acts necessary to accomplish the intent of the resolution, to authorize the chief financial officer to amend the budget where necessary to reflect appropriate revenue sources and expenses, all as may be required under the terms of the agreement, to provide an effective date of the resolution, and for other purposes. 2006-87 is a resolution authorizing Clayton County to adopt and submit to the Clayton County fiscal year 2016 annual action plan to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to amend the Clayton County fiscal year 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, and 2015 annual action plans, to authorize the chairman to execute any documents required and otherwise perform all acts necessary to accomplish the intent of this resolution, to authorize the chief financial officer to amend the budget where necessary to reflect an appropriate revenue source and expense, all as may be required, to provide an effective date of this resolution, and for other purposes.
All right, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the resolutions as presented.
Is there a second? I'll make the second. Is there any questions on any other items? Hearing none, those in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We do need an executive session for personnel, real estate, and litigation.
The final agenda item for this evening is an appointment to the Tourism Authority Board to fill the expired term of Tom Maples. The term is 4 years, expiring on April 30th, 2020. This is a full board appointment. Are there any nominations? Hearing none, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, this does conclude this evening's agenda. If there are no further items to discuss, there was a request to go into executive session on personnel, real estate, and litigation.
Is there a motion to go into executive session?
That we go into executive session.
I'll second it. Probably moving second. Those in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you.